It's time for Tubi Tuesday. And once again, we're in the world of Jean-Claude Van Damme. As we are taking a look at the 2003-ish movie In Hell, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme and Lawrence Taylor, and was one of Van Damme's earlier direct-to-video movies, which I can't say they're all good. I haven't actually watched many of them. I know, like Steven Seagal, he started filming in like Bulgaria because it's cheaper there. But from what I hear, Van Damme's quality of films, what I've seen in this film, are better than Seagal's later films. So, and if this film is anything to go by, this film surprised me in more ways than one. Because it's a direct-to-video Van Damme movie, I didn't expect much. But also, the way the plot was going, I was expecting something else. Especially for a Van Damme flick. So, Van Damme stars as Kyle LeBlanc, a man who's on his way home from work, and he's, been working in Russia for a long, long time, and now he's taking a break, and he and his wife are finally going to have some time together. And wouldn't you know it, this is when some guy decides to break into their house, attack, rape, and murder LeBlanc's wife. And then we see Van Damme getting arrested. And then we see him going to jail. And while they don't explain why they arrested him, we get a flashback showing that at the trial, the guy who killed LeBlanc's wife paid off the judge, or bought the judge as they say, and is set free. LeBlanc responds to this by shooting the guy fucking 6 times or something, with all the bullets that were in the gun at least, and shooting him dead. So he goes to prison, sentenced to life, without parole in Russia, where that's not a thing, but he gets it anyway, and he's put in general population, despite the fact that they separate American and foreign prisoners, but okay. And this is where I started to go, wait, what? Because I thought it was going to go differently. A typical Van Damme revenge flick where, he goes after the guy and he goes, in the organization he works for. If it's someone, because, you're watching this and most of Van Damme's flicks, you think he works for someone important. So they killed his wife as a message to him for some reason. But from this point on, except for flashbacks of the wife and, looking at a photo of his wife and some weird freaky stuff towards the end of the film, we don't go back to Van Damme's other life. The rest of the film takes place in the prison. And I was going, wait a minute. I'm like, so is he going to find out that this was their plan all along, for him to get mad and go to prison, and because this becomes a Fight Club thing. And I thought that it was, because they found out he was a fighter, they wanted him in there to fight and kill a bunch of the prisoners, to dwindle it down, and he's a big fighter. I thought that was going to be the thing, and that's why they did it, and spared this guy's life. Or not spare, but they said, this guy we're hiring to rape and kill this guy's wife, we don't need him. Let this guy kill him, and then we got him in our prison, which is why, that's what I thought. I thought the warden was in on it. I thought the judge was in on it. It was all a ruse to get the best fighter from America, which, by the way, Van Damme's playing an American with a Belgian accent. Yeah. But, I guess Arnold Schwarzenegger's played Americans with his Austrian accent. Yeah, I'm American. America all the way. But, yeah, and most of this film is the prison and the fighting. And at first he's getting his ass kicked, and then he fights out. Look, Van Damme doesn't look the best in this film. I don't mean like, I mean like his hair doesn't, like at first it's like shaggy, tiny afro thing. Like, more than me. But, like, and then as it grows out, you get a fake wig and a fake beard, and it's just like, no, it looks terrible. And I know this is an independent, film, so they couldn't afford that. And why do it? And then he shaves it off, and he looks Hispanic, almost. Where he's got hair gel, slicked his hair back, and a little thing here. Only needs like a toothpick and his button up here, maybe a bandana this way on his head, tied up. I don't know. He looks kind of, I'm not trying to be mean to Hispanics, but that's what he looks like, The goatee disappears at some point before the climax. I don't know where it goes. It's just gone by the time the end of the film happens. But yeah, they put him in there. Eventually he fights, but then he decides, after Billy dies, which Billy is this 21-year-old, and he's raped and murdered, which is another thing. It's like, oh, so these people, it is a setup, but it's not at all. It never goes back to the beginning of this film. We don't know why that guy murdered and raped his wife. By the end of this film, the end of the film happens. We'll get there. So he decides he's not going to fight anymore. And all the other prisoners unanimously decide we're not going to fight either. Despite the fact, they don't show him, but this big dude, played by Michael Bailey Smith, was the one kicking his ass. And as he decided not to fight, he's not one of the people in solidarity. In fact, he's the one that Van Damme fights towards the end of this. But everyone else decides we're not fighting either. And they're like, well, we can't kill him. He'll become a martyr. But then they throw him out there to fight. And like, well, that's going to make him a martyr anyway, especially if he doesn't fight. But he does fight because Lawrence Taylor, known only as 541 or 451, Prisoner 451, tells him he's got a record of every murder ever happened in the prison. And that he'll help Van Damme escape if it means getting this out to the public. Why would that do anything? It's a prison. Nobody cares about the prisoners there. They're rapists, murderers. The only innocent person there by my fault is Van Damme. And yes, he is innocent. In my mind, if you kill the motherfucker that killed your wife, it's justice. That's all it is. I don't condone killing in any matter. But if motherfucker killed my wife, I'll kill him back. I'll go to jail. But I'll be like, hey, gotta kill my wife, is dead. It's justice. I know jail's not a place for me, but I'm just saying, I probably won't kill anyone. But I'm just saying that's my thought. Guy raped and killed his wife. He deserved it. That's my point. I'm not going to kill anyone. I'm not going to do that. I'm not that kind of person. I'm saying this guy who raped and murdered Van Damme's wife in this film deserved everything he got. In my eyes, Van Damme is innocent. Murder, sure. But this guy deserved it. So, Lawrence Taylor helps him escape by getting into the general's car. By the fact that the general has a white beard and Van Damme looks like him, he gets out anyway. And Lawrence Taylor, 451, kills the general. And, he gets out and we get a message saying there's a prison riot, which is one of the best scenes. Because throughout the film, Van Damme is locked away in solitary, where there's a guy groaning on the other side and he keeps hitting the thing, and so they bring this big guy out to fight him. That's what the thing is. They say, oh, he gets killed, he could become a martyr anyway, but fight this guy. And then Van Damme bangs on the wall and he realizes who it is, and they be this friend, I guess, and the guy dies defending Van Damme. And there's this scene where you're supposed to be sorry for him, but it's like, you didn't even know the guy. You shared banging on the wall. That's it. But then, yeah, he fights. He gets out. There's a prison riot with flaming stuff. And this is where they decide to escape. Lawrence Taylor, 451, helps him out and goes back, kills the general. And Van Damme gets out, and we get a title card that says, 3 months later, the prison was shut down. It only took 3 months. Are you telling me there's someone out there that actually cared about convicted criminals, serial killers, molesters, being killed in the prison, forced to fight? Someone cared. You wouldn't think they would, but I guess maybe that's... I mean, they're human, but I'm just saying... I don't know, but we don't get any more than that. Also, one more thing I forgot to say is throughout the film, this white moth, or it could actually be a white butterfly, but everything I've seen says it's a moth, keeps flying in, and he keeps hearing his wife's voice whenever it comes in. I'm thinking, okay, he's just hallucinating, whatever. But then, when he's tied up before they let him out to fight Milos, which is the big guy with the face mask, the wall guy, the moth turns into his dead wife. And, yeah. But the biggest, what is, you have a movie, especially with Van Damme, what's the end goal here? In Hard Target, it was to stop these guys from hunting homeless people. Here, we have an end goal, getting his wedding ring back. Because at the beginning, he's forced to give up his wedding ring, and the guy puts it on his ring and then on his finger, and then when he gets ready to leave, he takes it back. He got his wedding ring back. That's about it. Puts the picture in the rearview mirror, despite the fact that you need the whole rearview mirror to drive. But, yeah, this movie was actually pretty good. Better than I expected it to be. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It's not spectacular, but I would rate it among one of Van Damme's better films, I would guess. To me, it's better than We Die Young, which I thought was just okay. But this one is actually a decent made film. 7 out of 10 for me. So what are your thoughts on In Hell? In the comments below, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and keep with me on this 3-week Van Damme binge, I guess we'll call it. Even though I'm watching these all within consecutive days. I don't know if I'll watch another one tonight, because I might want to relax. But, yeah. So what are your thoughts on In Hell? In the comments below, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.